Tracks and Traces, A Story of Exmoor is a theatrical show produced by the Exmoor National Park Authority and the Exmoor Society in association with the Common Players. The show is an interactive multimedia performance which tells the story of the landscape, people and animals of the Exmoor National Park in a fast-paced, high-energy comic romp through 5 decades of Exmoor history. Performed by 3 actors playing more than 20 roles between them, Tracks and Traces takes a look at everything from walking to wind farms. The show charts the environmental pressures facing the beautiful wild moorlands of the National Park area and uses live theatre, poetry, film and high-tech flight simulation technology to switch young people on to the issues facing their local environment. Tracks and Traces toured to primary and middle schools all over the Exmoor area in the autumn of 2007. The show was also performed at the Exmoor Society annual general meeting and for a public audience at Dunster Tithe Barn. Teachers at the Somerset Primary School's Inset Conference also saw the show and contributed ideas for an Exmoor teaching pack available to schools alongside a film version of the show for use in the classroom. The film you're about to see has been made by a team of students from Dulverton Middle School. They have been recruited to make a behind-the-scenes documentary charting the rehearsal and preparation of the show, with interviews with the actors, producers, director and audience. The crew have been working alongside a writer and a professional filmmaker on the project and learning to handle digital cameras and film equipment, to plan interviews and arrange locations. The students have operated all the equipment, conducted pieces to camera and decided on the final structure of the film you're about to see. Their film is also part of the overall evaluation of the Tracks and Traces project, which will help decide what happens to the show in 2008 and beyond. The DMS team have made an excellent contribution to the Tracks and Traces project, so it only remains for us to hand over to them to introduce their film and explain what it's all about.
Hello, I'm Laura and we're here making a documentary about the play Tracks and Traces, which is a story of Exmoor, which involves the history and the landscape of the Exmoor National Park.
We're going to do lots of interviews with lots of the Exmoor National Park people.
We're going to go to Exeter to see the actors rehearsing and we're going to interview them there, and we're also going to interview Ashley, who's the director. We're really looking forward to finding out more about this project. To check out the rehearsals, see how things are going. Bye! Bye-bye!
I'm here at the rehearsal rooms and this will be the first time today that I've seen my script turned into live drama, so it's really exciting for me. I don't know what they're going to do today. I think they're running a few scenes and working on the multimedia, but great day for me today. See it all start to happen on the stage.
We're going to run scene 2, which is the toughest scene in the show. It's got all the timings, it's got all the clips, the photos have to be in sync.
It's very fast paced and it's one of the ones where the timing is essential because the images go to the words and it's not worked yet. It'll work today. You watch.
The ancient moor-ending trees! The landscape will be lost forever, and what about the bird life? The locals will be up in arms. We'll form a protest group. We'll call a public meeting. Well done.
Okay, rolling. Action in 3, 2. Hello, I'm Martha Corey and I'm here with David Reeks. I'm going to ask him some questions. Which character do you play?
In this play I play lots of characters. There's only 3 actors, so we have to share out all the characters. But the main one is a farmer who's farming on Exmoor. But there's various others. I play a member of the Exmoor Society and I play someone in the Exmoor National Park Authority, and I play a naughty schoolboy, and a few others, little characters as well.
I play lots of characters. The one character that's got a name is Alice, who is one of the members of the Exmoor Society, and she goes through the play from the 1950s right up until the present day. And then I've also got an equivalent character who is part of the Exmoor National Parks Association, who goes through the same period of time. Various sort of comedy bits like tourists and sheep and grouse. And I also play the farmer's daughter, which comes in the more naturalistic sections of the play.
I play lots and lots of characters. I play a headmaster, the chairman of the Exmoor National Park Authority. I play a Lord Porchester. I play a sheep. I play a grouse. And that's it, I play 5 characters.
I'm here with Ashley, the director of the Tracks and Traces project. Please may I ask you some questions?
Of course, please.
So, what is your job as a director?
As a director, my job is to take the script that I'm given by the writer and to translate it into a production, so to create the drama that goes around the words.
What has been the biggest challenge for you on this project?
Trying to make the media side of stuff work, all the technical things. I have a lot of experience working with actors in a space. I can get them to do most of the things I want them to do, but fitting that all around all the other aspects of the filming, the slides, the technical things, that's for me without a doubt the hardest thing.
What is the play about?
Exmoor, but the landscape of Exmoor and the uses of the landscape. Basically, it shows you all the different aspects of Exmoor that need attention. So all the people that want to do something on Exmoor, the farmers, the tourists, the Exmoor National Park Authority, the Exmoor Society, everyone who has some sort of interest in Exmoor and in the landscape of Exmoor and in directing the use of the land in some way. It provides a lot of information about the politics of the national park, and it also has a message for the future about how a lot of these decisions are going to be in the audience's hands.
It begins at the first meeting of the Exmoor National Park Association and spans from then up until the present day, covering different issues that have come up among different factions of people who are interested in the park. So people who want to come here for the nature and the tourism, and people who live and work on the moor, and just the different points of view of what people think is important to them and how you can strike a balance to make everyone happy.
How does the play show the landscape of Exmoor?
We've got massive screens, massive projection screens. You can just see one in the background here with just some writing on it. But on those screens, all the way through the show, will be different photos of different areas of Exmoor. So hopefully, people that don't have much experience about Exmoor and what it looks like, by the end of it, will feel quite sort of familiar with the photos.
Tell us about the rehearsal process.
It's a question of layers. You start off with the script, and then you add actors to it, and then within this, you add the film to it, the sound to it, and eventually it makes a big jigsaw.
Are the costume changes hard?
We've only just got the costumes, and I was yesterday, and I was very relieved to find that they weren't as hard as I thought they would be. There's nothing worse than being backstage, getting your arms caught in the sleeve of a jacket, thinking, I'm meant to be on stage now.
Tell us about the set.
The set's fantastic. We work with blocks and planks, and we create different environments, ploughs, stiles, fences, all the kind of things you'd find on Exmoor. We find a way of symbolising them.
Why has this play been produced?
It's been produced because the Exmoor National Park Authority, who are the governing body of Exmoor, and the Exmoor Society, who are a public interest group about the landscape of Exmoor, wanted to promote Exmoor and the landscape of Exmoor, and just to raise issues about the use of land on Exmoor,
look at it historically to kind of show what decisions have been made and what reaction that had on the landscapes or what effects that had, cause and effects. And also to promote the idea that in the future, those decisions will be down to you guys. You're the next generation who will be living on Exmoor, using Exmoor. So the decisions that are made now will affect your future very, very strongly.
We've just filmed the actors and the director in the rehearsal process. Now guess what? We're now on the bus going back to school.
After 2 weeks of rehearsal in Exeter, Tracks and Traces, A Story of Exmoor is now ready for its first performance at Dulverton Middle School. It is 8 a.m. on the morning of the 21st of September 2007. The Common Players team arrive at the school to set up for the first Tracks and Traces performance. Our student film crew is also on hand to film the technical setup for the show, which mixes live action, photography and multimedia mapping technology supplied by the Exmoor National Park Authority. To accommodate this technology, the producers faced the challenge of creating a touring theatrical set that incorporated projection screens and computerised queuing equipment, but was also small enough to fit in the back of a transit van. The cast of actors also had to be able to work independently while on tour, setting up the equipment for each performance and running the computers on cue while also acting out their roles in the show. In its first tour, Tracks and Traces played to around 3,500 young people aged between 8 and 17 years old, travelling to 34 different schools and colleges. The show also reached 150 adults via public performances at Dunster and Dulverton. The show cost £29,000 to produce and was funded by the Exmoor National Park Sustainable Development Fund and the Heritage Lottery Fund Awards for All programme. Audiences were encouraged to participate in the drama by voting on important issues of land use and conservation which faced the park area, and gave their feedback after the show by means of audience questionnaires.
It was really good and a nice change from just the normal stuff. Very, very good.
It was really good, yeah. I really enjoyed it. Okay, bye.
It's very good. And I think the criticism about wind farms is rubbish.
It was about what's happening to Exmoor, like who should do what and what should be important to people and the views of the jobs.
It was very good and interesting.
It raised a lot of questions.
My favourite character was the guy with the ginger curly hair.
It's kind of like, it's better than like having to see a meeting, because it covers everything that you want to know about it, but it's just more fun.
Yeah, it was really good.
My favourite characters were the two school children that mucked about.
Oh yeah, and they should do a bit on hunting.
I think it was about just how to preserve Exmoor and how to find a balance between lots of different ideas.
We're here at Exmoor House in Dulverton to interview Matt Sully about his work on the show.
My job in general is Geographic Information System Officer, and that basically entails looking after the mapping, the digital mapping, the sort of analogue mapping, and a support sort of throughout sort of Exmoor National Park for their staff when they use the geographic systems. Dave Gannett came to me with the landscape play in mind, and I said, well, basically, what about a three-dimensional fly-through around Exmoor that they could use as a backdrop? I think the play is a very sort of educational sort of method to sort of help people to learn about Exmoor and the consequences if we don't do anything now.
Now we're going to interview Tim and John about their roles in Tracks and Traces.
The thing I enjoyed the most about writing this play was learning all the information and history and facts about Exmoor so that I could include it in the play, and also creating the characters. There are some quite funny characters in the play, and I really enjoyed creating those and watching them develop on the page. The hardest bit about writing the Tracks and Traces play was including all the information that the different people who've been involved in the project wanted to get into the piece in the script, and at the same time trying to make it funny and entertaining and accessible for the children who are going to see it. So, for example, I had to include a lot of information from the National Park, historical information about how things happened and how things developed over the years, and I had to include information from the Exmoor Society that got across what the Exmoor Society was about and why that organisation was created, and at the same time had to make all of that history and information, which could have been a little bit dull and boring, I had to try and make it interesting for young people to watch.
My main job has been taking all of the media elements, so photographs of Exmoor, the films, the music, the voiceovers, and putting it all together, crafting it and putting it all together into something that the actors can work with on stage, and that can also be taken around and toured around Exmoor. Well, we had quite a difficult job really, because there are only 3 actors touring this show and no technical manager to go with them, or any stage manager. We made it so that it was flexible, so we could change the timings of things very easily on the fly, so the director had some control over how the media worked. I think if this play can educate these people and tell the young people, the youth of today, tomorrow's grown-ups, some information about Exmoor and why Exmoor is important, then that can only be a good thing.
We're just about to interview Chris Winnie and Dave Gannett about...
It's about to rain.
Yeah, it's about to rain.
What is your role in this project?
My role in this project is that Dave Gannett and I met about 2 years ago, and we thought we would like to get across in a big way to the children of Exmoor something about their inheritance. And we thought about the best way of doing it, and we decided on the visual arts combined with high-tech photography.
Why is this play important, and what do you hope to achieve with it?
The play is important is in that it gets across the message to children all over the area that Exmoor is important.
Why has this play been produced?
It's been produced to communicate the messages of the National Park and how we work together with the Exmoor Society. And we wanted to challenge some difficult issues and yet make it lots of fun and put it on a stage. Well, it's about the evolution of a landscape, the evolution of the people that live here, and how we as the Exmoor Society and we as the Exmoor National Park Authority have come together to try and help that evolution. I hope the legacy of it will be something that people remember, because we're going to take it to thousands of young people living on Exmoor and around, so I hope they'll remember something from it, but also I hope we'll create a really good DVD that'll act as like a real good teaching aid, so people can say, look, there's a really good bit of information here that'll tell you the story of Exmoor.
It is Saturday, 22nd of September, and members of the Exmoor Society are gathering at Dulverton Middle School for their annual general meeting. As part of the day's proceedings, which include votes and discussions on a wide range of Exmoor issues, members are going to be treated to a performance of the Tracks and Traces show.
The people who have put the money up, at least one of the parties of the people who have put the money up, are going to see the show for the first time. So myself, as a director, I'm a little bit anxious to get some good feedback, that they enjoy what they've seen, that they think it's a good production, that they think it's money well spent, and hopefully that they would like to do something more with us in the future.
The AGM audience also includes the local MP, representatives from the Exmoor National Park Authority, who have co-funded the production, local farmers and business people, all of whom will see themselves represented on stage as part of the story of the history of the national park.
I'm really nervous because it's an important gig, because these are the people that have employed us and the people that these issues are about, and we kind of use the Exmoor Society as a vehicle throughout the show, so I'm hoping they like it.
The show was commissioned as an integral part of the Society's education and awareness raising work with young people, so all concerned are hoping for a positive reaction from the organisation after months of hard work.
All the characters in the play are fictitious. Any resemblance. So please do not take offence. It's only a bit of fun with a more serious message attached to it. Enjoy.
The Exmoor Society AGM meeting.
We're going to film the reactions of the people who have watched the play Tracks and Traces.
We're hoping to find out a little bit about what they thought of the play.
It seemed to go down very well and everyone was really pleased with it. Technically there were a few problems, but the actors sorted it out during the run. Don't think it was noticed too much, and I'm very pleased. I feel like I can sign off on it now. So thank you everyone.
Could you please tell us what you thought of the play?
Wonderful.